Hello everyone, welcome to the SBI Securities Weekly Wrap podcast. First, let's discuss how the markets have been in the week gone by. Indian equity markets ended higher for fourth straight week, but with marginal gains as benchmark indices Sensex and Nifty gained 0.3% each. The market traded range-bound during the week due to lack of any major trigger, as US markets remained shut on Thursday on account of the Thanksgiving holiday. The release of FOMC minutes of the latest Fed meeting showed that the committee's continued thrust on tightening of monetary policy, with no signs of possible rate cuts by Fed in the near term. Broader markets also showed healthy performance during the week, with the BSE Midcap and Small Cap indices registering gains of 0.7 and 0.5% respectively. On the liquidity front, FIIs net sold 1,300 crores, while DIIs net bought 1,980 crores till Thursday in the cash market during the week. Sectorally, BSE Realty was up 1.5%, BSE Power also did well, up 1.4%, while the Consumer Durables Index recovered and was up 1%. While in the losers, we mainly had the IT Index, the FMCG, as well as the Cap Goods Index, which ended with cuts of 0.3% each. Coming to the Nifty, the top 5 performers were Hero MotoCorp, which was up 6.4% in the week. Bajaj Auto, another two-wheeler player, ended the week with 5.3% of gains. BPCL was up 5.2%. Divi's Lab was up 4.6%, while Bharti Airtel ended the week with 2.7% gain. While in the top 5 losers on the Nifty, it was Cipla, which was down 4.1%, ONGC corrected 3.8%, Coal India was down 3.6%, Bajaj Finance lost 2.8%, and Ultratech Cement was down 2.7%. Among the mid-caps, so on the BSE Mid-Cap Index, the top 5 performers were the PSU insurers. So New India Assurance was up 40% this week, while GIC Re was up 27%. BHEL gained 10%, SJVN gained 9.5%, while Gland Pharma was up 8.7%. While on the top 5 losers, Rajesh Exports corrected 10%, Indian Bank was down 8%, Piramal Enterprises also lost 8%, IDBI Bank and Delivery were the other losers. In key monitorables in the week, Brent crude continued to hover around $80 to $81 per barrel, with the key OPEC meeting scheduled next week. Bond yield, the US bond yield was sub 4.5%, so currently trading at around 4.45%. While the dollar index remained in the range of 103.6 to 104. Coming to major corporate news for the week, so Honasa Consumer, the recently listed parent of Mama Earth, reported its second quarter results this week. The revenue at 496 crores was up 21%. EBITDA grew 52% YOY to 40 crores, while PAT showed an impressive 94% YOY growth to rupees 29 crore. EBITDA margin also improved 169 basis points YOY at 8.1% in the second quarter. L&T Finance signed a pact with Asian Development Bank worth $125 million to support financing in rural and semi-urban areas in India. ABB India has formed a strategic partnership with Titagarh Rail Systems for the supply of propulsion systems for metro rolling stock projects in India. Oberoi Realty announced the launch of Forestville by Oberoi Realty, the first luxury residential project in Kolshet, Thane. The company launched the first phase of this development, consisting of 3 towers. Sterling and Wilson Renewable Energy subsidiary bagged a $2 billion deal with Nigeria's Ministry of Power to provide 961 megawatt of solar power and 455 megawatt hour of battery power. KEC International backed a new project worth 1,000 crores across its various business verticals, including railways and cables. The total order book stands at 10,000 crores. Welspun Corp's subsidiary received approval from the Odisha government to set up a manufacturing plant with capacity of 37,250 tons with an investment of 480 crores. Servotech Power won orders from BPCL for manufacturing, supplying and installing of 2,650 EV chargers across India. CG Power filed an application with the Ministry of Electronics and IT seeking approval to set up an outsourced semiconductor assembly and testing facility in India. The company will form a JV for this project. In some global economic updates, so the FOMC minutes were released this week, which suggested that they are still in the cautious mode, and the impact of higher interest rates squeezing the household and businesses was emphasized. And the committee also acknowledged the appropriateness of further tightening of monetary policy depending on further developments in the US economy. This week we released two fundamental calls. So first was a pick of the day. We released a CSB Bank. This is India's oldest private sector bank based out of Kerala, and the key investment rationale is that loan growth has been strong at 27% YOY in the second quarter, with the gold loan portfolio registering a growth of 32% YOY. We expect the overall growth rate in advances to be more than 25% in FY24. The NIM is also expected to be maintained in the 5% range. The asset quality continues to be very good for the bank, with GNPA of 1.3% and net NPA of 0.3%, and the bank currently trades at attractive valuation of around 1.7 times price to book FY24 earnings. So this is a pick of the day call, CSB Bank. Coming to the pick of the week, we released Kajaria Ceramics Limited. This is one of the largest manufacturers of ceramic and vitrified tiles in India and eighth largest in the world. The company expects better volume growth in second half of FY24, led by favorable shift in demand driven by growth in the real estate sector. At the current price, the stock is trading at FY24 P multiple of 43 times and 35 times on FY25 P, which looks fairly valued. Coming to some key events next week and the outlook. So next week in the US, economic data releases like the Consumer Confidence Index, the Personal Consumption Expenditure Index, and the first revision of the Q3 GDP in US will be tracked. The meeting of OPEC Plus has been postponed to 30th November and will be in focus to track movement in the crude oil price. In some key domestic economic data, so India's Q2 GDP growth rate will be announced. The core sector growth for the month of October and the manufacturing PMI for the month of November are scheduled to be released next week. The auto sector will also be in focus as the auto companies will release their November monthly auto sales numbers on 1st December. November was a month of Diwali, so expect a bumper auto sales from most of the companies. Apart from these economic data points, also we will have the exit poll predictions of the 5 state assembly elections, which will be out on 30th November post the polling ending in Telangana. And this exit polls will be keenly watched as it is likely to have a bearing on the equity markets. Followed by the election results will be out on 3rd December, that is next Sunday. So we believe the market will continue to remain in buy on dip mode next week, and investors can utilize any correction to invest in the name of quality businesses. So for key corporate actions in next week, kindly refer to our weekly wrap report. The link to view the report is shared in the description box below. This was all about the weekly market podcast. Thank you for listening.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.